What is the PBX? Let's break it down a little bit. PBX stands for Private Branch Exchange. Private means it is an equipment that serves private organizations instead of offering public service. Branch means it is a multi-station system that allows shared use of central office lines. Exchange reflects its primary function, which is to switch phone calls internally and externally. So, still confused, right? Well, today we will answer this question with the most straightforward language possible. Okay, ready for this? Here we go. A PBX works as the central server for a business-level telephone system. It mainly does two things: establish internal calls among colleagues and manage external calls for the company. Well, let's start with internal calls. Say we have a company of 20 people. Obviously, we should be able to call any of our colleagues. To realize that, the first thing we may think of is to install one phone for each person. Well, it is not wrong, but not enough. To make sure that employees can call each other, we'll have to connect all phones to our PBX and assign each phone with an extension number. This way, when you try to call one of your colleagues and dial her number, the PBX will establish the call between you and the destination extension accordingly. Once the interconnection is finished, the phone will ring and you guys can start talking. That's how PBX makes internal calls possible on an enterprise level. At the same time, to run a business, we also need to talk with our clients, suppliers, or other people outside the company. To deal with the external calls, we must also connect our PBX to public switch telephone network through phone lines applied from the service provider, which comes with the phone number for the company. This way, when someone in our company makes an outbound call, for example, tries to call a client, this call will firstly reach the PBX. The PBX will send it out through connected trunks, well, also known as the phone lines, to the public switch telephone network, and eventually reach the client. Meanwhile, when someone calls our company, the call will go from the public network through our trunk to the PBX. The PBX will deliver this call according to the preset rules, for example, to an IVR, aka interactive voice response, or a specific ring group, or even a particular extension. Generally speaking, a PBX will manage all incoming and outgoing calls to make sure that external communication can go smoothly, efficiently, and cost as little as possible for enterprises. There are many kinds of PBX from a technology perspective. For example, traditional PBX that works with telephone lines, IP PBX that can run calls over the internet. There is also Cloud PBX that deployed totally on the cloud and no longer came with any hardware. Different types of PBX suits various organizations depending on their scale, business model, working method, and infrastructure status. So, a traditional PBX mainly focuses on call routing, while IP PBX and Cloud PBX offers more advanced features such as UC communication and more possibility on third-party integration. If you want to know more details about the telephone system and how to choose the right type of PBX for your company, please subscribe and visit Yaestar.com.